Here we are, inspections. What does this mean? What's next? What's going on, right? You've probably got a million questions. Hey, you're going through the home inspection. You're gonna have a chance at the end of the inspection. You don't have to, this is optional, to meet with the home inspector, and he can go through the things that he found or she found, depending upon who you hired there, and can say, hey, here's something I found, a crack in the wall, or double tapping in the breaker box, or the drain line doesn't have the little S thingies that it's supposed to have underneath the sink. Who knows, right? The inspector is going to go through all of those things. He is your expert. And as you go through there, ask them and ask them and ask them any questions that you've got. And then when you get done with that, your agent's going to ask you, was there anything that you found that concerns you? And at that point, you're gonna be able to say, yes, I am concerned about, I'm making things up at this point, right? I'm concerned about the electrical box, I'm concerned about the plumbing. These are my two biggies. And so sometimes then, what's gonna happen is you'll write down those two, and then you might throw in a third one, just in case the seller needs to throw one out. What kind of options do you have though when you have issues that are found on the inspection report? There are some things that we can't ask for, and your inspector is going to go through some of those things, because sometimes the inspector is going to say, oh, you need to have the furnace cleaned. Well, that's a typical one we can't really ask for, and back out of the contract if we decide not to move forward. Or the trees are overgrown, and we can't really back out for those kinds of things. We can ask for anything, we just can't back out for some of them. And the paperwork is very, very specific. If you've got specific questions, obviously, your agent will be able to explain all those things. I'm available, I can explain those things to you as well. So you're gonna have three options. The first option is you're just going to ask for things to be repaired, and that's it. And you're gonna ask for them to be repaired by a licensed, qualified person to be able to do those things. And then once you send that in, and there are timelines that you're going to have to follow, and your agent's gonna show you that. You get that in, then the seller has a couple of days to respond to you, and whatever they respond to, then you have a couple of days to respond, and kind of going back and forth. You want to make sure that you don't miss those deadlines, because that's very, very important. There is a statement in there that if you miss the statement, if you have missed the timeline, then you have accepted it according to the last round. So that's one. The second thing is you can ask for some repairs and some money at closing. That generally will work okay. The third one is just asking for money at closing. Banks don't like this, because if you think about it, the banks are trying to loan against a house or whatever it is that you're buying. And if there are many, many repairs that need to be made, then they're not really loaning against a good house. They're loaning against a house less all of those repairs. So they don't really like to see big credits. Talk to your agent. Sometimes we can get the price reduced or do some other things in lieu of that. But those are kind of your three options. Ask for the repairs you want, ask the sellers to fix it, repairs and money, or money. And at the end of the day, it's got to be something that you can live with. It's got to be something that you guys agree to. And hopefully you get through this with no problems, because then the next step is going to be the appraisal. And of course, the next step after that is closing. Anything comes up, anything at all that makes you feel like you're not experiencing the 5-star level of service that we're trying to provide you, let me know, let your agent know, so that we can fix it. Because we want you just to have the most amazing experience ever. All right, on to the appraisal.